Hello, everybody, and welcome to week 5 here at Rasmussen College Comparative Politics course. This week we have an extremely busy week as we are going to have our main paper due at the end of this week. So remember, guys, that we are working on 2 papers this week. We have our Iraqi questions paper, which is due, and we also have our main paper, which is due. So we'll have 2 papers due on this coming Sunday. Remember, too, we have our discussion board going as well also, as we are looking at issues in the Middle East as well also. So the main posting for the discussion board is due at the end of the day on Wednesday, with your reply comments due by the end of the day on Friday. One issue keeps coming up every week, guys, is remember on your main posting you need an APA citation at the end. There are points being deducted for that. That's something simple that can be corrected. So please make sure that you are posting an APA citation at the end of your main post. And also, guys, remember to make reply comments by Friday. We've seen some students lose some points on that as well, too. So remember, you need your main posting and a reply comment due on your discussion board. Seminar is this coming Wednesday. We'll be at our normal time at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. This week we are examining the Middle East, looking at nations of Iran and Iraq. So it should be an interesting discussion this week, especially with all the news surrounding Iran and whether or not the United States will stay in the nuclear deal with Iran. So looking at our subject matter this week, guys, we are in a very hotbed issue of the United States and foreign policy, and we talk about these nations a lot in international relations. In our class, we'll be examining their governments. We'll be looking at the way they work. We'll be looking at what their similarities and differences are with the governments of the United States. And what's very interesting, guys, we'll have a lot of time on Iran this week because of the Iran nuclear test deal, but also because Iran and the United States has a very interesting history. Iran used to be a monarchy, used to be an extremely big ally of the United States up until the 1979 Islamic Revolution, which establishes the current Islamic State in Iran. The United States used to be a main power ally with the Shah of Iran when the monarchy was in place. And since that time, Iran and the United States have had a very cool to hostile relationship when it comes to their ability to get along with anything. Iran refers to the United States as the great evil, the great Satan. The United States, of course, supports other interests in the Middle East that also run against Iran's foreign policy and its own issues as well, too. And looking at the government of Iran, guys, we'll be examining it as a theocracy, which is a government that's going to have a big mix of religion and the regular government. Most people always hear about the president of Iran and the parliament, but above him is the mullahs and the ayatollah, so they will have veto power over any decision of the civilian government. So we see a big mixing and blending of religion and government in Iran as well, too. And we'll also talk about Iran and its interests with other nations in the Middle East. Iran and Saudi Arabia have had a feud going on for just about since the 79 revolution as well, too. Iran has always questioned Saudi Arabia as the keeper of the 2 holy cities of Mecca and Medina, whether Saudi Arabia is truly a leader when it comes to the Islamic people in the Middle East, and whether Saudi Arabia is corrupt and creates issues and situations that call into question some of the teachings and things of the Prophet that Saudi Arabia is not following. So there's been this massive disagreement between Saudi Arabia and Iran over the course of several years as well, too. Of course, you always have issues with Iran and Israel. Iran funds organizations in Israel, such as Hezbollah and Hamas, which operate in the West Bank and the Gaza Strip, and have launched terrorist attacks within Israel. Israel still claims that Iran is violating the nuclear deal that was signed with the United States, and Israel's made some overtures of whether or not it should do something the United States does not. So Iran is going to be a very big hotbed topic this week, guys, as we examine this nation throughout the week. The other one we're going to come up with is Iraq, and of course we'll have to examine the invasion of Iraq by the United States, the fall of Saddam Hussein, and the type of government that's been put in place since the fall of Saddam Hussein. So it should be an extremely interesting discussion on Iraq as well, too. Look at the current state of Iraq to see if it's stable or if it still needs a lot of assistance from the United States. We'll look at the change in religion that influences the government in Iraq. Saddam Hussein and his government used to be a Sunni government, which is a very small minority in Iraq, and the government now is made up of a large portion of Shia Islam, which is also the major branch of Islam that governs Iran as well, too. So very interesting to see how these nations are becoming closer allies as we examine the Middle East as well, too. So again, guys, discussion board this week, Wednesday for main posting, Friday for the reply postings. 2 big papers this week. We have our main paper due on Sunday, and we also have the Iraqi questions paper due on Sunday. And I'll hopefully see everybody in seminar. It's this coming Wednesday, 8 p.m. Central Standard Time, which we'll be examining again these two nations of Iran and Iraq. Guys, if you need anything, feel free to please email me. I'll be available throughout the week. And good luck, guys, in completing all the work this week. And if you need anything, like I said, just drop me a line.